So a poet once compared the pop of a wine cork to the opening of a man's heart, but that pop may be a thing of the past.
Because more and more wineries are replacing the classic cork with the screw cap. But doesn't a screw cap mean cheap wine? KXLY4's Melissa Luck has the answer in tonight's Good Question.
So depending on who you ask, I could be considered a bit of a wino. I think that means I drink a lot of wine, but I don't always know the best wine to choose. This should be easy, right? Cork is obviously better than screw top, but the experts here at Vino Wine Shop tell me that's not always the case.
The pop, the pour, the presentation. A cork in the bottle dates back to the 17th century, as much a part of the wine as the wine itself.
That little sound, and oh, it's wonderful.
Only a guy who owns a wine shop can impersonate that classic sound so well. But in the 15 years he's owned the Vino Wine Shop in Spokane, John Allen has seen the cork slowly replaced.
It's true in all kinds of food products, but the wine industry has been hooked to a romance with cork, which has been tough to change.
It takes 25 years for a cork tree to mature and allow the bark to be harvested. Getting one successfully out of a bottle of wine without leaving cork behind can feel like a real accomplishment for a novice drinker. And over time, cork doesn't necessarily keep the wine preserved. Enter the screw cap.
Once the production line is set up, it's relatively inexpensive to put a screw cap on a bottle, as was discovered or innovated by the Gallo winery out of California.
What the Gallo brothers created, the rest of the wine industry has been slow to follow. But research shows screw caps keep wine longer and have nothing to do with quality.
The cork closure versus the screw cap is almost a toss-up. In fact, it's far more likely that a wine will result in some kind of flaw as a result of being closed with cork rather than the screw cap.
So why isn't cork a thing of the past?
When I asked the question on Facebook, the majority of people had a negative connotation towards screw caps, equating it with low-value wine.
Josh Ward writes the wine blog drinknectar.com. He got into wine to impress a girl.
So obviously it worked because she married me, and here we are.
Ward says there's plenty of screw cap wines that are just as good as the corked varieties, but says wine drinkers will be slow to catch on, and wineries have to make the first move.
They don't have an aversion to going to it, some of them don't, but for a lot of these small wineries, they'd have to change their entire way they bottle wine, so the cost factor changes.
For now, about 15% of the wine in this shop closes with a screw cap. New Zealand is now almost completely cork-free, but it's a process that has been tradition for 300 years, so give it time, and don't judge a wine by its cover. With this Good Question, I'm Melissa Luck, KXLY4 HD News.